As most of you arguably might know, I recently became a parent. And as hopefully every single one of you knows, Francesca is a parent. Hey, Francesca, how's it going?
Hi.
So you're a bit more out of that newborn phase than me. I'm still sort of coming out of it right now, but it's a fraught time. It's very difficult, and you are very tired and very desperate to have your problems solved any way that it can be solved. You've come up with all these problems, and there is no end to the advice that you're offered, and we'll get to that in a future top 10 list, but also products advertised to solve your problems. And I purchased a lot of things in the first couple of months of Raina's life. Not all of them worked, but some were very helpful. And so we decided to count down the 10 products that actually delivered. Okay, so I'm very excited to talk about this with you.
Yeah, and it's weird because I do think it might be contentious because I know I recommended a bunch of products to you, and every baby is different, and that's what's so stupid. Like it's like they're like different people, you know?
Like that.
But it's true. Like they are different, and yeah. So some of this stuff, but true. Like some of these are like, look, 20,000 Amazon, reviews can't be wrong, kind of thing.
No.
Although sometimes they are. For you.
Sometimes they are. So for you or for your baby. So why don't you get us started? Give us an example of your number 5.
Okay, so yes, gear in the beginning of a baby's life is really important, and actually, I kind of think it's the most gear heavy time because they're newborns and they're like just screaming and crying all the time. Like the pain of life, I'm reincarnated. I used to be a Harvard professor, or whatever they used to be. I'm the descendant of Nebuchadnezzar. I don't know, one of those Egyptian pharaohs or something. But so yeah, and you're like, shut up, just sleep. But okay, what do I have to say? So number 5 is going to be the thing that for me really helped in what I call the witching hour. A lot of people call the witching hour, which is when about 7 to 9 p.m. or 6 to 9, when babies are like, day turned to night. Why day turned to night? And you're like, yeah, you're on Earth, remember. I know, we move, day turned to night, it's fine. And this is the one thing that stopped the baby from crying for me, which was this Graco slider, the Graco glider. I don't know if we have a photo of it, but it might not be in order, actually. I don't even know what order or who's doing this, but thank you so much. I love you. Yes. Whoever you are. But so we put Karina in this thing and we turn it up, thank you, Mike, to number 6. And then we put on the music, there'd be music here, and it would just rock her way too heavy for like a little newborn. It was like zoom, zoom, and she was blissed out and fell asleep or just shut up, or was just quiet. And there's a little bear and she would like focus on the bear. And it was just the kind of movement I can't do with my arms. My husband can't do with his arms. It's just too much. So that thing truly saved us for many, many nights. And every night feels a little bit like a year sometimes. So that's my number 5. It's got so many good reviews on Amazon, so.
Yes, and let me now demonstrate a principle that you already mentioned, which is that every baby is different. And so I can say I have that exact glider and it didn't help at all for us. She now will use it a little bit and is okay to be in there.
Yes.
But before, it would actively irritate, aggravate, enrage her, and she would begin screaming. So no, it was not helpful. It looks cool. I love the idea that I could put her in there and she would fall asleep, but that has literally never happened.
Maybe she wanted the side to side one. They do have ones that are like this side. Maybe she's not a
she
front.
likes being rocked. I mean, I've rocked her more than I've done anything else in my life, but she just didn't like that machine rocking her. Also, ours is like a little bit, it's not quite calibrated right, but anyway, she accepts it, but she does not love it, I will say. Okay, and by the way, mine are being rated as how essential these things are. From nice to have at number 5 to number 1 being I might not be here if not for number 1.
Sure.
My number 5 is a toy, sort of. It is the Fisher-Price Kick and Play piano. Did you have this?
No, we
No?
had something sort of similar, and yeah, but it's super cute. I think I've seen Raina use it.
Yes, so basically it is a mat that you lay on, and there's things that dangle over you that you can reach for, and you can play the piano with your feet or just have it like play songs to you or whatever. And she loves this thing. She eventually started to learn to actually, it took a long time for her to reach for things, but now she can reach for the stuff. She loves kicking anything, really, but if she kicks something and it makes music, she likes that even more. She also likes kicking me, and I don't always sing as a result of being kicked, but anyway, it is her number one thing that she likes to just be in for a while. We've just gotten to the point where we'll leave her like unsupervised for a bit. We still like to mainly be with her when she's on it, but it occupies her. It's been helping her with her, like gross and fine motor reflexes. So, and it wasn't very expensive. And some of the songs that it plays are actually kind of catchy. So I really
it never leaves your brain.
Play piano. Yeah,
those things.
No, I've got this song about bubblegum trees stuck in my head all the time.
Oh God. So Karina had one, we got it used, and it was, she didn't really care about touching. She was at that point on her tummy and touching. She didn't really care about the piano, but she does like, and when Raina gets old enough, pulling up one of the sides of the little arc there, and it goes whoing, and then it just sort of is like, and you're like, all right, she's gonna hit herself with that. So loves
that's
that.
Gonna be a disaster. Okay, well, what's your number 4?
Okay, number 4 is gosh, I don't. Okay, number 4 is let's go to the Tula. So this is a baby carrier. Number 4, the Tula is like, yeah, there it is. So this is like literally $300 and worth every single dollar. It is, to me, the Tula is super soft, super sturdy, really easy to put on. The Bjorns have like a million different like zip bop chick, and you're just like, oh my god, there's so many different things. And babies get super impatient when you're like, clipping and tightening and buckling. They're like, eh. So this Tula is super easy to put on, and you can wear it. I've tried to put her on my back. She hates it thus far because I don't think she's big enough. But it's really hard because until she was like 3 or 4 months, it wasn't easy to put her in a carrier. But when she finally was big enough for the carrier, she has loved this. Again, it's really, really, it's comfortable on me. It's got really good support for the hips. You can adjust it for the dad. So I just like a soft carrier that is structured and soft at the same time. You can't have it too loosey-goosey. And some of the ones are like the old metal buckles that you have to go like up and down and like pull. And I'm like, bitch, nobody has time for that. Like clip and pull. Don't up and down me. Like what is this, the
Modern
fucking 80s?
Technology. That's what people want.
Exactly.
I'm gonna hold most of my commentary because something similar to this might be coming up a little later on. But I will say there are a lot, like carriers are more expensive than I thought they would be. I'll say that. But even the ones that aren't expensive, there's a lot of trendy carriers. Like so my wife had one of the wraps. Have you seen one of these? It's like what I imagine that like, Gwyneth Paltrow would use or something. It's just like cloth.
I love that wrap.
That, and I didn't like it. It's super.
It's not easy to figure out, but with the baby, when the baby is like doesn't have any neck muscles or back muscles, actually it is a lot better because they're much closer to your body. So the wrap, when I got it right, but when I got the wrap wrong, she just like starts slipping out through the walk, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah, I felt like, give me a buckle. I have faith in a buckle. With this wrap, I feel like the baby's just gonna dive for the ground. But
yeah. I
like your. I'm not familiar with the Tula, but good choice. My number 4 helped to solve a very specific problem, and that is the Dr. Brown's, I believe it's something, anti-colic narrow bottles, slow flow, whatever bottles. So we have a lot of different bottles because the bottles that we bought never worked. So we bought the Como Tomos at first.
Sucked.
And they were okay, but it wasn't quite right. She'd spit up a lot and stuff, and she'd drool a lot. And then we eventually got, after consulting with an expert, these other ones. I forget exactly what they're called, but they're way too fast flowing. And she was like choking and stuff. And it's, if you're not a parent, and you're listening to this, you have no idea how important the bottle is because you feed the baby every 10 minutes. And so if the experience is not good, it's hell. But those Doc Brown, whatever flow, anti-colic ones, they stop as much air from getting into the baby. So the burping, natural flow, the burping is less of a crisis, less of a disaster. The flow seems to be good. It just like, once we got her on those and in conjunction with a good formula that we like, just a lot of our problems with her like pulling away and screaming in the middle of it. Like if the flow is too low, then the baby will be frustrated and hungry and she will get angry that she's hungry. And so she'll yell, which stops her from eating, which causes the problem. So those bottles were among the cheapest solutions to any problem we had, and we still use them to this day.
Dr. Brown's are really good. Also SNoo, and they have 3 different flow types. They have 3 different nipples. So like light, whatever, medium, light, and then heavy. I think maybe those are tampons.
The SNoos are the second ones we tried that did not work at all.
Didn't work.
Actually. So again, it depends on the baby.
Even with the bottle, depending on like the nipple size.
We did the slow.
Really? Yeah. Well, look, Dr. Brown's are very good. Like proven, everyone loves Dr. Brown. But you're so right. Oh my God, the bottle. Why is the bottle so hard? Why is it so hard? And oh God, if there's new parents, just like don't buy a bottle before the baby's born. That's all I have to say. And if you're gonna buy one, buy Dr. Brown, or I like SNoo, but just don't do the thing. I was like, let me get an assortment of bottles. No, there are clear winners. And Dr. Brown is just but Dr. Brown is a clear winner. It's a clear winner.
Clear winner. I'm just saying, if you are gonna buy one bottle, don't buy like 12 of them because you don't know if the baby's gonna like it. So yeah.
I'm trying to look into my old Amazon orders. God, I have so much gear and crap that I really believe in and I like. I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of like a fun toy, but I can't, nothing's really coming to mind. But okay, this is not for the baby, this is for the mom, but it's kind of my number one recommendation, which are, and maybe we have a photo of them, silverettes, which are for your nipples. Yay, little silver cups for your nips, nip cups. If you're breastfeeding, these things are lifesavers. They're $50, but they're made of silver, so you can like melt them into a ring later on. Saved my nipples. Thank you so much, silverettes. Silver is like healing, and you can put a little bit of like ointment too, and it's just like, oh, thank God. I wore those, I think, for like 6 months nonstop. And now my nipples are just straight Teflon, so they've become,
They are silver.
They are silver now, but these are like, some people are like, oh, I use the plastic ones, boo. Oh, I use the silicone ones, boo. Start and only use those silverettes. They're the only thing you're gonna need if you are nursing. They're so good. They're nipple savers. That's it. That's all I have to say. Well, John, I'm sure you have
I have strong opinions, but I'm wearing them right now.
Yeah.
They're also good if you get COVID, you melt them down, inject it. The silver is really good.
Oh, yeah.
So that's positive too. But yes, I think we had something like that. I don't think we had that specific one, but we had something similar. Yeah.
I can't rave about them enough.
By the way, you just like, there are a lot of things I want to put on this list. I have one thing I want to briefly discuss after the list that I have controversial opinions about. But anyway, good choice.
What number are we at? I was at 3 for me.
That was your number 3. So
okay, 2
my
and
number
1.
3 is going to be a combination. I both bought an app that does this and a device that does this. Here's a picture of the device. It is called the Baby Shusher. Are
Amazing.
you familiar with the Baby Shusher?
Yes, but I've never used it.
Okay, so that is a little device that looks weird, and the shape that they made it is the least functional possible shape that you could make for that device. It rolls if you put it down. There's huge problems with this device, but the basic idea is you turn it on and it makes a shushing noise that sounds like a person shushing. The device stops. You can set it for different timers, and it stops after 30 minutes, and you can't make it go longer for reasons that I will never understand. So while we were using the device, after 25 minutes or so, we would have to run in and turn it back on.
No.
I don't know why. The app goes indefinitely. Why the device doesn't, which you're spending more money on, I don't understand. But as much as I'm annoyed by that, The reason these shushers, we don't use the shusher anymore. We don't leave it on while the baby's asleep.
But it worked.
Past that. But we did for a long time because, and if you're not a parent, you will not understand this. I wanted to die from how much I was making the shushing noise. You get exhausted from shushing endlessly, just over and over rhythmically on different patterns, like we would take turns. She's rocking the baby. She'd shush until she literally can't anymore. And then I come in and shush. It was a nightmare. The app is only $5. And I just loaded it up on an old phone I don't use anymore. And that phone is literally just a lullaby and shushing device.
That's great.
And it helped so much. You can put it in a stroller. You can leave it under the crib when they're sleeping. It's great. Highly recommended, even though the actual device has massive errors.
I don't think our baby is as responsive to shushing.
Oh yeah.
But yes, but I definitely did do a lot of the like a little pattern of like shh, shh, shh.
Yep.
You know that one?
Your mouth dries out. So tired.
But if she responds to it, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah. We don't use it anymore. I just shush her a little bit when I'm putting her down, but it was very helpful for a couple months.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's amazing. All right, number two. Number two for me might be number one for a lot of other people, but number two is the SNoo. That's right. Very expensive. This is all out of order. Beautiful crib that is a smart crib. So it moves when the baby cries. Now, a lot of things I say, I'll just make this brief. The SNoo is like over $1,000. Do not pay over $1,000 for it. You can definitely get one used locally, offer up, Craigslist, whatnot, and then you can resell it. Oftentimes people will sell it to you with the specialized swaddles and the whatnot. I was so resistant to the SNoo. I was like, that's for rich a-holes, blah-de-dee, blah, blah, blah. And then when it's 4 in the morning or 2 in the morning and the baby's screaming and you have no idea what to do and you can't, it's been fed, it's been burped, it's been like, there is just shut up. And yeah, there's white noise, there's everything. You're like, let's SNoo it. And so we did and haven't looked back. They have multiple settings. She really only liked it on the slowest over and over again. She liked the swaddles, even though we had to do like that's another thing, the swaddle. Inside swaddle, outside swaddle. I have a lot of SNoo thoughts and a lot of SNoo techniques, but it did work for us. We used it for 5 months. So that's a long time to get something. We spent $600, resold it for the exact same price, even though I bought a lot of other accoutrements, like different, swaddles. We wore that thing down. So great purchase. That was even just like a borrow situation.
Yeah. Really fast, you reminded me that with the inside swaddle thing, we should do like a top 10 bits of advice that actually helped at one point because there's so much contradictory advice. So we will get to that in a future.
I know.
But I'm not familiar with that device, but it looks cool.
Shut up.
Anyway, my number two is this is the Fall Toor Thule, I think it was called. This is the one that you don't like, the Baby Bjorn 1 carrier. So I like having all of the different buckles. And yes, there are like 1,000 snaps. And when the baby is in there, you're like trying to snap them all as fast as you can because the baby's like, and you need to get walking because it's the motion of walking that calms the baby down. But
your baby, my baby.
My baby.
I wish I had that baby.
Can we put that back up? Because people need to understand that was the piece of clothing I wore the most for like 2 solid months because our baby would not sleep while the sun was out unless she was in, for me, one of those, or in my wife's case, either her wrap, or she has like a smaller kind of version of that. I would put the baby in that and I would slowly walk around the neighborhood for 2 hours straight. And I would do that multiple times a day. Every single day.
That's great.
That is the only way that she would sleep. And
see, but then you can listen to a podcast.
Yeah, I would listen to podcasts.
My baby, you put her in I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. You're gonna put it in and you're gonna sleep. No, because she'd be like stimulated. She's like, I'm out, I'm about, I'm doing things, I'm seeing people, and she would, John, I would get 10 minutes into the walk at a time when she starts to get sleepy, right? And same with the stroller. And then I'd be 10 blocks from home and she'd be screaming. And so all the neighbors would be like, oh, this woman is kidnapping a child. right now, and I'd have to rush home. That is like, do you understand? Like, I understand, yes, it sucked that you had to walk, but like, I was tethered to her being in a specific place to sleep, and she could not, which she wouldn't do, but she didn't want to be on the go. It's just very annoying.
Yeah, very different babies. Like, I know that Karina doesn't like being in a stroller. My baby does like being strolled around. It doesn't make her go to sleep like the carrier does.
Sure.
She does like it. But just for me, like, it was a lifesaver. I mean, it was very tiring, but I eventually learned like every spot where, okay, if I walk past that gate, a dog is gonna bark. Oh, I can see ahead, half a block. There's a truck there. I'm gonna cross the other side of the road. And she would pass out, and it was so adorable. Like, when she's just fully passed out in her head, in her arms, and her legs are hanging, it's like the cutest thing.
So cute.
Now, I never totally figured out how to set it up so that I did not result in terrible hip pain, because for whatever reason, I cannot walk in that thing in a way that doesn't hurt my hip, even though I generally walk okay. But other than that, it was a lifesaver.
But I'm telling you, John, that's because you don't have the Tulip. That's because the Bjorns are overrated. They're too soft. There's not enough hip support. Once your hips are properly supported.
Okay, well, let me borrow your Tula and we'll see.
Yeah, you can borrow it. You can borrow it.
So that was my number 2. What's your number 1?
Number 1, it is a swaddle. It is a transitional swaddle. Oh my God, I can't believe you're still watching at this point. This is the Zippity Zip swaddle. Zippity, I think it's Zippity. Yeah. Zippity Zip, it's called. Now, this is for when you stop swaddling the baby's arms completely so they're at their sides, and they can sort of move around, but it still constricts them so they're not like flailing, and it doesn't wake them up when they move too much, and it gives them a nice little restriction, and plus they look adorable in that thing.
Bat wings, basically.
Little bat, and they have like other like patterns, and it's so cute. And I tell you, since we stopped using this SNoo, 6 months, she's now 14 months. I think last night was the first night we're trying an arms out swaddle for the first time. Zippity Zip, I got the small, I got the medium, I got the large. If she doesn't take to the arms out, I will get the extra large. I am such a fan. It sucks. These things are like $40 each, and you kind of want 2, so if you need to wash one. So it is expensive. But I swear to you, it's adorable. And when she's in them, she knows it's night time. And it's a great transitioning out of the swaddling. And it's an easy zip. It's great.
Nice. I'm looking at it right now. They have one with little foxes on it. And I want to buy that literally right now.
So cute. And they have little, fleece ones so she could be warm.
Cute. Yeah, we've been putting her in fleece pajamas lately. I bought all these like Christmas themed pajamas for Reina, and she's so adorable. I'm gonna send you pictures. Also, I want to see a video of Karina in this thing doing the bat wings. I really want to see that. But anyway, I wasn't familiar with this product. I own a lot of swaddles of a variety of different types. And I do agree, yes, you do need to buy more than one of everything because babies just vomit all over everything. They just do. But that's a good choice.
Yeah,
my number 1,
John, and I also have some smalls. I have smalls that you like.
Oh yeah,
they pill pretty easily, which is a little annoying. But you're welcome to like use them and have them. Anyway, we could take this offline.
Yeah, okay. My number 1 is that I was a liar because it's the SNoo. Your number 2. It is you. I mean, you know that I know what the SNoo is because you gave me some of the swaddles. Okay, so that's a picture of it, everybody. So as she said, it's a smart bassinet. Basically, the baby is in there on a tray, and the tray kind of rocks back and forth, basically, subtly. But if it detects that the baby is moving or making noise, it goes up. And there's a white noise machine built in, and you can also manually through the app change that.
Yes.
The SNoo is, as you say, over $1,000 new. I believe it's $1,700. And all I can say to that is, hell no. I paid $500 used for it. And when I end up selling it, I'm going to get at least $500 for it. There is no reason to spend any money on this thing.
I mean, $500 is something. But sure, yes, not over
I'm not
that.
In the end, going to have spent much. I mean, maybe on accessories. I did buy the thing that jacks up one side of it. We bought the little hanging mobile. We've bought the sacks that they sleep in. And yes, initially, there were periods where it felt very weird that you are Hannibal Lectering a baby into this thing and then putting it on a thing that shakes it as you watch from another room through a wireless camera. All of it feels a little bit dystopian, and especially if the baby's young enough. I did not let it go up to the highest setting. They say it's safe, but it seemed dangerous. And it's weird to have a robot,
It also makes like really loud noises when it goes up.
It's like, wow.
It's creepy. It's creepy.
But that said, you know what else it did? It got the baby to sleep. And so not in all cases, like it didn't work during the day. That's why I had to carry the baby around in the carrier. I don't know why during the day it didn't work. For some people it does. Yeah. But our baby started sleeping through the night way earlier than usual. And I credit it to the SNoo. The SNoo and the like 7 different white noise machines, as well as the Baby Shusher that was going on, and a pacifier, and eventually a double swaddle. But anyway, there was a lot of stuff. We had a robot shushing her and a robot shaking her. We basically have been replaced by Skynet.
We have been.
But
and thank God, because I just think, yes, it's stupid to have this much crap, but also we don't hear screaming all of the time.
Yes.
And our blood pressure can be, definitely elevated, but just a little bit lower than maybe what it could be. And that to me is worth it.
Yeah, 100%. And it was helpful. It's not helpful for everyone. I did a ton of research, and some people say it doesn't work at all. Baby freaks out or whatever. And I've only got like another month or 2 before she needs to transition out of it, but it was very helpful. So that is true. I'm gonna just quickly throw out what was, I guess, maybe my number 6. But when you talk about blood pressure, so we have the Nanit Wi-Fi Bluetooth camera. So like I can go on my phone right now and I can see a live view of the baby's crib, which is very helpful and reassuring. It's weird. It's nice to be able to be out at the mall and see what's going on with the baby at home. But it is also weird to live your life where you're constantly seeing every movement and sound that the baby makes. I have a feeling that probably causes a lot of anxiety.
1,000,000%.
But I couldn't not do it right now. Like if I just knew she was in there and I can't tell what's happening, that would feel so weird. Did you not do the camera?
Of course we do the camera, but we didn't have one that's on your phone, which is actually kind of a blessing. Like it's a thing, because if it were on my phone, I would check it constantly. I have my runner-ups have to do with like heat stuff, and if you guys don't have like temperature control smart plugs where you can turn on and off plugs via Bluetooth, I obsess about the temperature in her room. I have like a little thermometer that is exactly right next to her, so it's, because if you have a thermometer in different areas, but that's the thing is, if you have the thermometer up where the camera is, heat rises, so it'll seem hotter there, but where she is, it's not that hot. So that's like true. It was just, but yeah, John, I don't know. How could you, if I had her on my phone, I'd constantly look.
Oh yeah, well, and I get notifications literally if she moves or makes a sound.
Oh God, turn those off. Turn those off.
I don't have them right now, which is good news, but yes. So anyway, that's why I didn't put it in my top 5, because like it does really help, but also maybe it's driving me insane.
Yes.
But anyway, my 5 products might not work for you, but they were very helpful for us. And Francesca, thank you for your suggestions. By the way, some of these you clued us into, so thank you.
Yeah, and some people hate us right now, or they're like, what? Or they're like, I'm never having kids. And that's maybe a right instinct.
Maybe for some, and it is expensive, man. And you can really go crazy if you want to like look into products and everything, but that's what helped us. So thank you, Francesca, as always. Maybe we'll do the advice one in a couple of weeks. We try not to do back-to-back parenting ones because I know that a lot of people don't give a damn. But I don't care. That's all I think about. Anyway, leave us ideas for top 10 lists down below, and we'll see you in the next one.